I like this one, and it definitely shows that Andrea's thinking way beyond, and that is how to properly plan overpayments. Now, again, depending on someone's circumstances and how strict they are with themselves. So you can overpay into a mortgage. There's no industry standard, but it's typically 10% of the balance. So if you borrow £100,000 today, typically in year one, you can overpay by 10%. Let's say, for example, it's a 2-year fixed rate. In year one, you can overpay by 10% with no penalty. In year two, you can overpay by 10%, also with no penalty. Now, how to plan overpayments? I prefer in the very beginning to have a discussion with someone and say, what is your budget? Let's take it up as far to the budget as possible, because I want to get you the least mortgage term that I can get. Why take something over 30 years if we can afford it over 22? So I always go through someone's income. I go through what their expenditure will be. I see how much budget is left. So when I talk budget, I look at things like the mortgage payment, insuring that mortgage. So if something happens to you, you need to be able to pay that mortgage. So insuring that mortgage could be life insurance or income protection. And I look at the total budget. I always encourage people at this point, take what's affordable and take what's in your means. If you then still have money throughout the year, let's say you get a bonus of £3,000, you can overpay that into the mortgage. I'm often asked, will I just save the money up and then pay it as a lump sum? Let's say you're getting commission every month of £100, or you've got some money coming in from, wherever. I would always encourage to overpay into the mortgage ASAP. A mortgage is a little bit like a credit card. So the interest that is being accumulated onto that balance of your mortgage is accumulated every single day. So if you make an overpayment into your mortgage, it comes directly off the mortgage balance the next day, and therefore the interest that's been accumulated the next day is less. It's always becoming less. So if you've got cash to put into the mortgage, put it in ASAP. Don't wait. 99 times out of 100 now with mortgages, the interest is accumulated daily. So it's advantageous to pay it in when you've got the cash. Planning for overpayments is going to depend upon your circumstances. If you get a quarterly bonus, if you get an annual bonus, if you're waiting on some stocks and shares being cashed in, that sort of thing. So you just have to, depending on your own circumstances, but I would always say in the very beginning, take the shortest term you can possibly afford. A good mortgage broker will assess that for you in the very, very beginning. The best example I can ever give you is about 7 years ago. I had a client come to me who had been to RBS, and he said, I've been quoted this mortgage, it's over 30 years. This chap worked offshore, he earned a lot of money, and he wasn't buying an expensive property. I did a full assessment for him. I could shrink that mortgage term to 11 years, and therefore it was some crazy number, like saving him £7,000 to £8,000 worth of interest over that term, just because I'd spent an extra 10 minutes going through that assessment.